Hello students, last time I have given you a homework in which we are going to solve this homework. We are going to solve this first question. How will you convert phenol into picric acid? Now here, when phenol is treated with nitrating mixture, that is mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. Then here formation of 2,4,6 trinitrophenol takes place. This is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol plus 3H2O. We have to balance this reaction. Right here 3 molecules of concentrated HNO3. This 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is nothing but picric acid. In this way we can prepare picric acid by using nitration of phenol. Picric acid is used to prepare explosives. Now we are going to see second reaction. Write note on Riemann-Tiemann reaction. When phenol is treated with CHCl3, that is chloroform, in presence of aqueous NaOH. Then here formation of an intermediate takes place, that is here O minus Na plus, that is sodium phenoxide, and its para position there is formation of CHCl2, that is this group is attached to ortho position of sodium phenoxide. Now this compound when created with NaOH, then here this CHCl2 undergo oxidation to form C-double-bond-OH group, that is CHCl2 undergo oxidation to form aldehyde group, and here O minus Na plus. Now here when this compound is treated with or it undergo acid hydrolysis gives salicylaldehyde, that is here OH and here C-double-bond-OH. This compound is salicylaldehyde and this reaction is totally named as Riemann-Tiemann reaction. This salicylaldehyde is nothing but 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde. Now we are going to see third question. How will you prepare salicylic acid from phenol? When sodium phenoxide, which is obtained by the action of NaOH, aqueous NaOH with phenol, this is sodium phenoxide, when it is treated with carbon dioxide at 398 Kelvin at under 6 atmospheric pressure, then here at ortho position of this sodium phenoxide, introduction of C-double-bond-OH group takes place. Friends, sodium phenoxide, which is obtained by the action of phenol with aqueous NaOH, this sodium phenoxide when reacted with carbon dioxide at 398 Kelvin under 6 atmospheric pressure, then here formation of this salt takes place. This is an intermediate, and then when it undergo hydrolysis H3O plus, then here formation of salicylic acid takes place. This compound is salicylic acid. Now we are going to see fourth one. What is the action of liquid bromine in CS2. Now here, when phenol is treated with liquid bromine in presence of polar solvent like carbon disulfide at room temperature, then here we'll get mixture of orthobromophenol and parabromophenol. Plus HBr. Due to steric hindrance, this orthobromophenol obtained as a minor product. This is minor product, that is only 20% is obtained, and here it is parabromophenol, which is major product, that is 80%. Now second, what is the action of bromine water on phenol? Now here, when phenol is treated with bromine water, that is aqueous bromine, then here formation of 2,4,6 tribromophenol takes place. We have to balance this reaction. Right here thrice. This is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Now last question. What is the action of Na2Cr2O7 in H2SO4 on phenol? Now first one, A. When phenol is treated with Na2Cr2O7 in H2SO4, it undergo oxidation to give benzophenol. This is parabenzophenol. Then second one, B, action of zinc dust. Now when phenol is treated with zinc dust, it undergo reduction to give benzene plus Zn. And third, nickel 433 Kelvin. Now here, when phenol is treated with nickel at 433 Kelvin temperature, it undergo hydrogenation, that is addition of hydrogen molecules takes place across the double bond of this phenol and will get cyclohexanol. That is unsaturated benzene is converted into saturated cyclohexanol. Now we are going to start ethers or methods of preparation of ethers. Last time we have completed methods of preparation of alcohols and phenols. Now we are going to see methods of preparation of ethers, in which first method we are going to see is dehydration of alcohol. Now dehydration of alcohol is carried out by using dehydrating agent like concentrated H2SO4 or H3PO4. Now here this dehydration is carried out, intermolecular dehydration. How it is carried out? Look here. When alcohol, one molecule of alcohol is treated with, or two molecules of alcohols are treated with concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature, then it undergo intermolecular dehydration like this. Removal of H2O takes place and this RO get attached to this R to form ROR plus H2O. This is ether. This is intermolecular dehydration. This is general reaction. Now we are going to see example. If we take example of C2H5OH, that is ethyl alcohol. When it undergo intermolecular dehydration in presence of concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature, then here formation of diethyl ether takes place, that is C2H5O, C2H5O plus H2O. This compound is diethyl ether. IUPAC name of this compound is ethoxyethane. This preparation this reaction have some limitations. If the temperature is increased above 413 Kelvin temperature, then here this alcohol undergo intramolecular dehydration. How? Look here, we have seen the dehydration of alcohol to form alkene. Here this alcohol undergo intramolecular dehydration like this, C2H5OH, CH3CH2OH. When it is treated with concentrated H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin temperature, then it undergo alpha beta elimination to form CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2O. This is ethene. That is, this reaction must be carried out at 413 Kelvin temperature. Then only we will get ether. And if the temperature increased above 413 Kelvin, then intramolecular dehydration is carried out. Now we are going to see mechanism of dehydration of alcohol into ether. This is SN2 reaction mechanism, and this mechanism is involved or carried out in 3 steps. Now we are going to see first step. In first step, protonation of alcohol is carried out. We are going to take example of CH3CH2OH. Now in acidic medium, protonation of this alcohol is carried out to form CH3CH2OH H positive charge. Now this protonated alcohol is formed. In step second is SN2 reaction mechanism, in which this ethyl alcohol, which possesses oxygen atom with 2 lone pairs of electron, which acts as a nucleophile, and this protonated alcohol, that is CH3CH2O positive HH. Now this this alcohol, which acts as a nucleophile, attack to this CH2CH3 group, and removal of this H2O takes place. This is SN2 reaction mechanism type reaction, and we get here CH3CH2OH, here positive charge, CH2CH3 plus H2O. This H2O is removed. Now in last step, this intermediate undergo deprotonation, that is removal of H plus ion to form, look here, CH3 CH2OH CH2 CH3. Now it is positively charged. This hydrogen atom gives electron pair to this oxygen atom, and it is removed as H plus ion to form CH3 CH2O CH2 CH3 plus H plus ion. Here it is diethyl ether is formed. This is the mechanism of dehydration of alcohol into ether. Next method for the preparation of ether is Williamson synthesis. This method we have seen in halogen derivatives also. In halogen derivatives, when they undergo substitution reaction with sodium alkoxide, then formation of ethers takes place. Now look here, when RONA, that is sodium alkoxide, when this compound is treated with alkyl halide, that is RX, boil this reaction mixture, then here remole of NX takes place and this R get attached to this RO to form ROR plus NaX. Now here this method is used for the preparation of simple as well as mixed ether. If this alkyl group and this alkyl group is similar, then we will get simple ether. And if this R from alkyl halide is different from this R, then we will get mixed ether. In this way, this method is useful for the preparation of simple as well as mixed ether. We can also prepare aryl ethers by using this method when sodium phenoxide, that is C6H5ONa, when it is treated with alkyl halide, then we'll get here C6H5OR plus NaX. This is aryl ethers. Aryl ether is formed. This is sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide is converted into aryl ether by this Williamson synthesis. This reaction is SN2 reaction mechanism. That is, this reaction undergo SN2 reaction mechanism. Now here, what happens? Backside attack of this phenoxide ion takes place on this alkyl group of alkyl halide and X atom is removed. Similarly, here also same thing happen and reaction is carried out by SN2 reaction mechanism. Now we are going to see example. Example, first one, CH3CH2ONa, that is sodium ethoxide. When this compound is treated with ethyl halide, that is CH3CH2Br, hit this, then here backside attack of this alkoxide ion takes place on this CH2CH3 group and Br is removed. Here formation of CH3 CH2O CH2 CH3 takes place plus NaBr. This compound is diethyl ether. If we want to prepare mixed ether, then take here any alkyl group CH3CH2O and A, and here CH3Br, that is ethyl bromide. Heat this reaction mixture, same reaction is carried out, that is SN2 reaction mechanism, that the backside attack of this alkoxide ion on this CH3 group and Br is removed to form CH3 CH2O CH3 plus NaBr. Now it is ethyl methyl ether. It is mixed ether. That is, we can prepare simple as well as mixed ether using this Williamson synthesis. This Williamson synthesis is possible only for primary alkyl halides. If we take secondary or tertiary alkyl halide, then here it undergo elimination reaction with this sodium alkoxide. Look here this is the example of tertiary butyl chloride. When this tertiary butyl chloride is treated with sodium ethoxide, boil this reaction mixture, then this tertiary butyl chloride undergo elimination reaction, that is dehydrohalogenation reaction, to give isobutylene, that is CH3 CH3 double bond CH2 plus here this compound is converted into ethanol, that is CH3 CH2OH plus NaCl. That is, we cannot obtain ethers by using secondary and tertiary alkyl halides. Now here aryl halides also does not undergo Williamson synthesis with sodium alkoxide. Now we are going to discuss this question. Ethyl isopropyl ether does not form an on reaction of sodium ethoxide with isopropyl ether. That is, when sodium ethoxide is treated with isopropyl chloride, this is sodium ethoxide, and when it is treated with isopropyl chloride, then we will not get ethyl isopropyl ether. That is, we cannot prepare this ethyl isopropyl ether by using this reaction, that is reaction between sodium ethoxide and isopropyl chloride. We cannot prepare this product, that is ethyl isopropyl ether. What is the main product of this reaction? If the reaction between sodium ethoxide and isopropyl chloride is carried out, then which main product is formed? Then here this compound undergo dehydrohalogenation to form CH3CH double bond CH2 plus. Now here formation of ethanol takes place, that is CH3CH2OH plus NaCl. That is, these are the main product of this reaction, that is propene, then ethanol and sodium chloride. Now second question is, write another reaction suitable for the preparation of ethyl isopropyl ether. Now if we take sodium isopropoxide, if we take sodium isopropoxide, when it reacts with ethyl chloride, then it undergo Williamson synthesis to form this ethyl isopropyl ether. Now how this reaction is carried out? This electron pair gets shifted on this CH to CH3 and this Cl is removed to form CH3 CH CH3O CH2 CH3 plus NaCl. This is sodium ethyl isopropyl ether. This compound is ethyl isopropyl ether. Now we are going to see physical properties of ethers, in which first property we are going to see physical state and boiling points. Now here first we are going to see physical state. Dimethyl ether and ethyl methyl ethers are gases, while others, that is higher members of ethers, are colorless liquids with pleasant odor, that is they have some pleasant odor. Then second, lower ethers are highly volatile and highly inflammable substances. Inflammable means they catches fire easily. Now third, boiling point of ethers gradually increases with increase in molecular mass. That is, if we take example of dimethyl ether and ethyl methyl ether, then boiling point of dimethyl ether is lower than that of ethyl methyl ether, since the molar mass of ethyl methyl ether is higher than dimethyl ether. Second point, polarity and solubility. Now here this ether, that is ROR, this bond angle, ROR bond angle is 110 degree, but it is not 180 degree. Look here, this COC bond angle is 110 degree and not 180 degree. Therefore, the bond dipole moment of these two CO bond, that is this CO bond and this CO bond, does not cancel each other. That is, this CO bond and this CO bond does not cancel the dipole moment of each CO bond, and therefore this ethers possesses a small net dipole moment. Due to this weak polarity of ether, the boiling point of ether does not affect it, which are nearly similar as that of the alkanes having same molar masses. Now we are going to see the solubility. Now, like alcohols, ethers cannot form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with each other. In alcohols, we have seen intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That is, in alcohol, due to polar nature of OH bond, each alcohol forms intermolecular hydrogen bonding with its neighboring alcohol molecule, and therefore the molecules of alcohols are associated with each other. But in case of these ethers, this intermolecular hydrogen bonding is absent. But when these ethers are mixed with water, they can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Look here, this is ROR bond, that is ether linkage, and this is water molecule H2O. Now here in H2O, this O is negatively charged and hydrogen is positively charged, and here this oxygen possesses a lone pair of electrons. That is, it is also negatively charged, minor negatively charged, and therefore they can form weak hydrogen bonding. That is, ethers can form weak hydrogen bonding with water molecule. Therefore, these ethers are miscible with water. That is, lower ethers are miscible with water, but as the molar mass increases, the solubility of ethers in water decreases.